Hey everybody, welcome to the Bandzoogle webinar, How to Build a Professional Website for Your Music. We're happy to have you here with us today. And I'm Allison Sharp. I'm the Education and Event Specialist here at Bandzoogle.
I'm Desi Rotman. I am on the support team and I co-host these webinars with Allison.
So before we get started, we always just like to make sure that you guys are connected with us, can see us and hear us. And so if you could just type your where you're located into the chat box to the right, then we'll know that you guys can see and hear us. So good morning, Ryan in North Carolina, or afternoon, I should say. I'm in Southern California, so it's still 9 in the morning and early. So that's where I'm at.
I'm in Chicago, Illinois, and it's bright and sunny here, which is nice after a couple of days of rain and thunder.
Oh, awesome.
And severe cloud cover, so we couldn't see the eclipse.
Yeah, we didn't get much of that either, but that's just the way it is. Awesome. So looks like everybody can see and hear us. So basically what we're going to do today is we're going to go through a slideshow presentation. It's just going to talk about some website best practices. Everybody on this webinar should be a free trial member or just barely recently upgraded to a paid plan. And so we want to give you all the tips and tricks that you guys are going to need to continue building a great website and have a successful website. So we're going to go through a slideshow, and then after that, we're going to jump right into building a site from scratch so you guys can see just how to get started if you guys already haven't gotten started. We'll build a few pages, and then we'll go over a few things in the Edit Theme tab just to see how you can customize your theme a little bit more. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen. So give me just a minute. All right, can you see that?
Yeah, looks great.
Awesome. Okay. And also, I'm going to go through these slides fairly quickly, but we will have a replay link that's going to be sent out by email after later on this afternoon. So don't worry, you'll be able to go through the webinar again in case you missed anything. So what is Bandzoogle? You obviously know because you're here, but we're a website and direct-to-fan marketing platform. We make it easy for you to build a website for your music, and you don't have to know any coding or any special, coding skills or anything like that. We also offer a free domain and hosting with a paid plan. You can either use one that you already have from somewhere else, or we can register one for you. And we also offer fast and reliable cloud hosting. So we're a site builder that's geared towards musicians. And so we obviously offer music players. They stream on your site. You can offer free downloads. You can sell your tracks commission free. You can set a price for your tracks and albums, or you can allow your fans to pay what they want. We've seen some success with some of our members that do that because fans, a lot of times they just want to support you. So you'll see them, paying a higher fee for a single or an album. There's a lot of different options with our music players, and you can also embed them on Twitter and Facebook so you can share them with all your fans and friends. And then with our Pro plan, we have a few extra things like album pre-orders and then sound scan reporting so you can chart on Billboard. We offer a built-in events feature. You can sell tickets commission free, so you don't have to use ticketing agencies for that who charge high fees. You can also share your events on social media. You can set your events to recur. So if you have a standing gig that's say like every Saturday, you can just easily add that. And then we also have Bands in Town integration. So if you already have your events set up there, you can easily integrate that into your website. Another unique thing about Bandzoogle is that we offer a built-in mailing list. Now, a lot of services, they give you the option to add a mailing list, but you'd have to get one externally like MailChimp or Aweber. With Bandzoogle, ours is built in. It allows you to send professional email newsletters. You can schedule them for later. We give you detailed reports. And if you already have a list built up somewhere else, you can easily import that in. And that way you don't have to pay extra to have a mailing list. And that'll be a good thing for you to send newsletters consistently to your fans. We also offer a commission-free store. This would be for things like CDs, vinyl records, basically physical merchandise. You can also sell digital files like sheet music and video. So say if you teach lessons and you want to sell your lessons on video, you can do that with our Pro plan. Our Pro Pro plan is pretty robust. A lot of times people start out with our standard plan and then feel like as they're growing, they want to have more bells and whistles. With that, you would get things like discount codes, sale pricing. If you have a limited supply of something, you could do automatic inventory tracking as well. To date, our members have sold over $25 million in commission-free sales and counting. We don't take a cut of any of those sales. We also offer over 100 beautiful mobile-ready themes, and we're consistently adding new themes monthly. With these themes, they are ready for any screen size, so you only have to design it one time, and anytime somebody's visiting from their tablet or mobile phone or desktop or whatever they're visiting from, the screen is going to adapt to let them see your full website. Once you choose a theme, you can still customize it to make it your own with our Edit Theme tab. It gives you a lot of customization options. You can do things like image filtering like you see on Instagram. You can change text colors. You could change fonts. There's placement options. It's just a lot of different things that we continue to add to. We also have just recently added sections as well. So you'll see that when I start building the site, you can create a different section, and that way it could kind of stand up a little bit more on the page. We offer detailed fan data. We do that through Google Analytics so that you can see where your fans are coming from, what pages they're staying on, what songs they're listening to in full, what songs they're skipping. It gives you a pretty good detail of how your visitors are using your site, which is really valuable. We also allow you to connect to your social media services pretty easily. We have a lot of integrations like Twitter, YouTube, Instagram. It allows you to put these things on your website so that people can easily see them and they don't have to leave your site. Now, we know that building a website, with our system, it's easy, but there's always times you're going to have questions or you might get stuck. We offer musician-friendly support 7 days a week. We do that through email and live chat, so we can always have a record of any questions or issues you have, and that way we can always, anybody that's in support can help you out at any time. And all of us are musicians or former musicians or married to musicians or some form of entertainment or artistry. So we get it, and we always try to do our best to help you through getting your site going and whatever you need help with. So like I said, everybody on this webinar today should be in the free trial stage. And so sometimes you might be wondering, well, I'm not really sure, like once the free trial is over, what do I do? So what's going to happen is at the end of your free trial, you'll just choose one of our plans. Now, if you just have the very bare bones and you just want to add like one album and just kind of like a couple pages, then I would recommend our Light plan. And that's going to give you just a very basic website just to get started. Our most popular plan is our standard plan. Like I said, that's going to allow you to, add a couple albums, several pages. You can have a mailing list of 1,000 members. All of our plans give you a free domain name. And then with our standard plan, in addition to selling music, you can also sell physical goods. And then our pro plan is, again, for those of you that want everything, it's our highest plan. And that way you have unlimited, everything basically. You can, have as many mailing list members as you want. You can upload as many tracks as you want. Then we have a really, great amount of options in terms of selling, like discount codes and tickets and inventory tracking and just a bunch of different things. So that would be a great plan if you just want to, go with the best one that we have. So a lot of times we get the question, isn't social media enough? Can't I just, promote myself on Facebook or Twitter or Instagram? And the answer is no. Basically, social media is a great outlet to, get your information out there, but you need a hub. You need a place where people can find you and focus on you. So the first thing is when you have your own website, you get to own the address. That means that you have a little piece of the internet that's all your own. You can send your fans and friends and family to your site, and they'll be able to see everything that you have. With social media, even though it's great, you might have a lot of followers and fans, it's very unpredictable in the sense, like, for example, when there was MySpace, it was like the biggest thing ever, and everybody was super involved in it. But then it started to go downhill. People started leaving. You weren't able to keep tabs on your fans or followers. And so you kind of lost out. And so with your own website, you can direct them to your site. They can sign up to your mailing list. And then no matter what happens to social media, you'll always have a way to contact them. The second thing is you own the experience. I'm sure you guys have noticed in the past few years, the major increase of ads on social media. It's really annoying and distracting. So with your own website, there's no distractions and there's no design limits. You can just set it up the way you want. Also, you own the data. Like I said, we give you the analytics, so you get to know where your fans are from. And then also, you definitely earn more money by selling directly from your site. So another important thing to have, like I mentioned, is the mailing list. This is the way that you're going to be able to stay in touch with your fans no matter what happens. The 4 reasons to have a mailing list. The first one is that you own the mailing list. Basically, you have a database that you could take it with you wherever you go. It doesn't matter if you stay with Bandzoogle, if you go anywhere else, you'll have that database of fans that's going to follow you wherever. The second thing is it's the ultimate permission marketing. So if somebody signs up to your list, they physically have to sign up. That means that they want to hear from you. They are saying, yes, I want you to tell me what's going on with your music. The third thing is it's the best way to sell. Email marketing is 40 times as effective as Facebook and Twitter combined. So basically, even though social media is great, it's very distracting. And so people aren't really paying attention to you directly. So with your mailing list, you can send newsletters and talk about you and your music directly. And it's the better way to sell and get them back on your site to purchase, you know, your music or show tickets or whatever directly from your site. And then number 4, it's the best way to stay in touch with fans. This is a really great way to, you know, kind of join them in their inbox. They can get to it whenever they have time. So with social media, you know, you're scrolling, things are going fast. With an inbox, you generally can save something for later and read it when you have time. So let's talk a little bit about your website's audience. There's 3 different types of audiences that you're going to want to pay attention to when you're building your site. The first one is your potential fans. These are people that don't know about you, but they may have heard about you from a friend. They may have seen you as an opening act for another show, and they just don't really know anything about you. So they're going to come to your site trying to find out some information. So the first thing is they're going to want to know what your story is. So you're going to want to put your best songs or video up front, and then you also want to get them on your mailing list. The second audience is your current fans. These are people that know about you, they follow you, they like you, they want to know what's new. So a great way to do that is by having a blog post, some photo galleries. You can have a, you know, latest news section. You can also offer them limited edition products, package deals. It really is great when you have fans and they're loyal to you to let them know how much you appreciate that. And you can give them some little freebies and things like that. And then also you want to get them on your mailing list. You can do that by giving them a free song or a free EP or something like that, or some exclusive content only for current fans. And then the third one, and definitely the most overlooked one, is that people don't really think about, you know, making sure that your website is friendly for industry and media. When they come to your site, they're going to want to know what's new with you, what's the latest and greatest. They want to know that you're active in the community. They want to know what makes you unique, what makes you different. You're also going to want to put your best songs, videos up front as well. When I say that, I don't mean put everything that you have on your homepage. I'm just basically saying put 1 or 2 of your best tracks or 1 video on your homepage, and then have dedicated pages that has the rest of your music and stuff after that. And then the last thing is that you're going to definitely want to have a press kit page. You can either publish this page, or you can have it as an unpublished page and hidden, and that way you can just send a link directly to whoever you want to see that page. But with a press kit, Desi can add a link to the chat right there that talks about how to set it up. But basically, you're going to want to put a little bit of everything. It's like a little bit of a sample of who you are and your music. So a short little bio, some images, 1 or 2 of your best songs, a video, some press quotes, some career highlights, and then some contact place where they can get in touch with you. That way, if they want to do an article about you or something like that, they can just see everything at a glance and then get in touch with you. Now, in terms of website design, there's a few quick tips. The first one is photos. You always want to use professional photos for headers, backgrounds, promotional photos. It's really important to invest in your career, especially with photos, because photos can make or break your website. We've seen some really super good artists and musicians, and their website looks so bad because they have really poor images on there. And so when somebody comes to your site, you know, and they see, like, say, a cell phone picture in your header or just a candid shot that's blurry, it can really make them think, oh, they're not be interested. So you definitely want to spend a little extra money on your photos. Secondly is your colors. You don't want to throw like 10 different colors up on the site and make it all wild and crazy. You want it to be pleasing to the eye. So we say to stick to 3 major colors, which would be a primary brand color, a contrasting secondary color, and then a third accent color, which will complement both the primary and secondary colors. You can go on Google and you can do a search for color wheel or something like that, and it'll tell you what colors complement each other. And that way your site will really look nice. And then also the last thing is that you want to pay attention to typography. This is the type or text on your website. You want to avoid the wacky fonts, things with curly cues, jagged edges, just like ones that look crazy or they might look fun, but if they're hard to read, it really defeats the purpose of people coming to your site, because you really want your name to stand out and get it in their minds to associate your name with your face, with your music. That's creating a brand for you and your band, or you as an artist, a solo artist. You also want to pay attention to the contrast between the font color and the background. You don't want to make it too stark of a difference because it could be hard on the eyes. You also want to use center text sparingly. And then for bolds, italics, and caps, you want to use those for things like titles or announcements. So one of the things that we want to mention is that it's a mobile world. You need a mobile-friendly website. Whether you use Bandzoogle or not, it's totally up to you, but we do want to stress that wherever you build your website, you definitely need it to be mobile-friendly. Google, they are starting to punish sites that aren't mobile-friendly. And so you won't index as high in those search results. Mobile viewing is now higher compared to desktop. So obviously you guys know, of course, that people are out and about a lot. They have their phones with them or tablets. They're viewing websites more so, as they're out and about. So you want to make sure that your site works well on any mobile device. The mobile experience must be seamless. You have to have the same content, and then you have to be able to, visitors will be able to like buy right from your site on the mobile device as well. Like I mentioned, Google has a mobile-friendly update, and it not only punishes sites, but it also boosts sites that are friendly on mobile. So you want to make sure that your site is set up in a mobile-friendly way. With Bandzoogle sites, they're already optimized for mobile, so you don't have to do anything extra or special. It's already set up that way. Navigation is the menu that you see at the top of your website. You want to make the navigation easy for people to get around on your site. So we recommend limiting that to roughly 8 buttons or less. You also want to have one clear purpose per section. And then you also want to keep the names simple. You can get more creative in the content, but in the actual menu, you just want to have like one-word names like blog, music, events. You don't want to get too crazy or crafty in the menu. So the 8 essential sections that you're going to want to have on a website are listed here. We're going to go through them briefly. The first one is your home page. This is the most important page. This is the one that Google will index most. So you want to make this one stand out. You want to have a great header image, a short little bio, a welcome message, some music videos, music and videos, and latest news, and then some social media links. It's basically like a little a little sample or at a glance of what you have to offer so that it entices people to look more on the other pages. One of the essentials of a homepage is a call to action. A call to action is the one thing that you want somebody to do when they hit your site. It gives them something specific to do so that you can engage with your audience. So the number one call to action is your mailing list sign up form. You want them to get on your list. So you want that to be as high on the page as possible. A few options to do a call to actions would be like, hey, I want you to buy my album, or hey, I want you to watch this video. You can choose whatever call to actions you want, but you don't want to have like, 4 or 5 call to actions. You want to keep it a focus of 1 or 2 at the most. The next page is that you want to have a bio page. You definitely always want to have a page that talks about you or your band. You'll want to have a full, robust bio about you. And also a shorter one. So if somebody wants to mention you and say a podcast, and like if they're announcing you on a podcast, or if they're writing a short article about you, you want to have a full bio and then a short bio for somebody to kind of copy and paste. And then you also want to have a photo or 2 on your bio page just to break up the text a little bit. The next page is obviously a music page, but you'd be surprised at how many music sites we see that don't have music on it. And that's one of the major reasons, obviously, somebody's coming to your site is to hear what you sound like. So even if you're just beginning and you don't have a lot of music, at least if you put 1 song up there, it's better than no songs. Even if it's just something that you're working on or recording, people like to see the behind the scenes. So it's really important to have a music tab on your site so people can hear your music. If you've been working in music for a while, you might have a lot of albums and you'll want to put your full discography on the page. You want to have some song samples. Another great option is to add a lyrics page or a lyrics section, because if people are searching Google for different lyrics or whatever, they might come across your site and you might make a new fan that way. You can also set up the music page to be downloadable. So in exchange for their email address, you'll send them a track, and that's an automated process. So you don't really have to do too much work to do that. And then you also want to add some context about the album as well, like what's your inspiration, what got you started with this album or song or whatever. The next page is the shows page. Now, not everybody is actively gigging, and that's okay. If you don't have any shows, you can unpublish that page easily in the Edit Content tab. But if you do have shows, you should definitely have a calendar of your events and then some live photos or videos of your performances so people can kind of get an idea of what it'd be like to come see your show. You also want to have a photos page, and this is important because it really allows people to see you in a more relatable light. You can have some official promo photos, and then you can also have live photos. And then to make it a little bit more personal, you can have your Instagram feed on there as well. The next page is videos. Again, sometimes you may not have videos, so you might not need this page, but if you do, you definitely want to add some videos. You can easily embed them from YouTube or Vimeo. And then also a store page. This is where you would sell your physical guitar picks or whatever you want to sell, and then a clear way to contact you. And then finally, on every website, no matter what it is, you need to have a contact form. You don't want to ever put your direct email address on any page of your website, because spam bots crawl websites looking for that information, and you'll get a ton of spam in your inbox. So you just want to use an email form that asks for name, email, and message. You can have your social media links on this page, and then one last mailing list sign-up form, which gives them one opportunity left before they leave your page, leave your website to get on your mailing list. So that's it for the slideshow. We definitely recommend that you follow us on at least one of our social media accounts, because we do a lot of updates, and you can get to know like what's new and improved on our websites. Also, we have a really extensive blog, and we have a lot of articles on how to promote your music, how to make more money in music, how to build your website. We have some examples. There's just a lot of different stuff, and we post those new blog posts onto our social media as well. So I'm going to go ahead and exit out of this page, and we're going to jump right into building a site. So let me just switch over. Desi, if you can hear me, can you let me know if you can still see that?
Yep, looks great.
Awesome, thanks. Okay, so you guys have already gone through the getting started phase, but we're going to just go ahead and just click here. Okay. So when you first come to sign up to your website, this is going to give you a 30-day free trial. So you'll have plenty of time to build your site. When you first get started, it just tells you that first thing you're going to do is choose your theme. So this is the basic framework that you're going to use to get started. We have a lot of new themes. And so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go with the latest theme that we have called Billboard. We'll go ahead and preview that. And so this one will show you right here what it's kind of going to look like. You can scroll down and see, what it's going to look like. So I like this theme, so I'm going to go ahead and continue. And then I'm going to go ahead and change. Let's see. Just going to use a stock photo that I have on my computer. So now I've selected that, so now it's going to fill the space nicely. With our themes, especially our modern themes, you're going to want to use an image that's at least 1500 pixels wide. We don't specify the height and the width because they scale down to whatever screen size someone's viewing. But if you have one that's at least 1500 pixels wide and say just around about 1400 pixels tall, that will fit nicely in any of our headers. So I like the image, and so I'm going to go ahead and set the title and logo. So I'm just going to go ahead and rename this. This is where you would, put your band name or your name as an artist. Here you can change the font color and a bunch of things like that, but we'll get into that a little bit later. You can also work on your call to action header, which is this right here, but we'll go ahead and do that later. Let's just go ahead and jump in and get started. So this is the basic layout. So we're going to go ahead and get started. So this is your home page. This is where you're going to see, some latest news. You'll start to see our blog posts on here, and then you'll have this video that you can watch just to give you an idea of how some of our tools work. But the main two tabs you're always going to work with are Edit Content and Edit Theme. We're going to start with Edit Content. And Edit Content, well, this gives you a video if you want to watch that later. You can kind of watch any of our videos on YouTube. I think our username is Bandzoogle TV. We have a ton of videos on there just talking about how to use our features and our editor. But for now, since we're doing a live demonstration, we don't really need to watch the video. So this is our basic layout. And there's two ways to access the pages. You can just simply hover over where it says About and then click Go to About. That's a way to get to a page. Or you can click Pages here and select the page that you want to go to. So I'm going to go back to the home page though, just to start. And this is where you can see just a basic framework of what we have as a default. Right now, I don't have any events set up, so I'm going to skip that. I don't have any latest tracks. So and here's where you're going to go ahead and select album. If you don't have an album and you just want to use a track list, you can do track list. And if you just want a compact play, go with album. And this is where you would go ahead and put your album information. Let's see. I'm just going to use a stock photo that I have as the album cover. You can also add a description, which is always a great thing. You definitely want to add a description of the album, what your inspiration was, how it came about, just a little bit of context on the album itself, which kind of makes it stand out a little bit more. The album art is loading. In the meantime, what we can do is select the options for how we want it to be sold. So if you want to allow it to be downloaded or sold, you click yes. I do want to charge for this. I want to set a fixed price of, let's just say, $10. If you have our Pro plan, you can put it on sale. So you say, I want to have it on sale for $8, and then it's going to tell you the discount is, 20%. You can also allow accept pre-orders. So if you have an album that's in the works and you're not quite ready to release it, you can do album pre-orders. And that way it'll be up to you to release the album when it's ready. But it's also a cool way to start to see, the demand for your music or your album. You'll see how many people are really interested and ready to, be getting your album. And you can do that. If you already have code here. If you have any bonus liner notes, anything else, not really tracks, but just things that would go along with the album, you can upload them there. The album art is taking a while, so I'm just going to choose another image because that stock photo might have been large. If not, we'll go ahead and skip that part for now. My connection has been shaky lately, so it could just be my connection. All right, so we're gonna just go ahead and skip through the album art for now. Now you'll see that the album art is still loading, but here's the album. And so it's on sale. And so what I'd want to do from here is I'd want to click on, okay, so this is just the album, but now you got to add the actual music into the album. So I'd click right on there. And then this is where you would add a track. So you just add your file. And then here with the preview clip, you can set it to, say like 30 seconds. If you want them to hear the whole album, you could just, select however long the album is. So this minute of the song. A track or a song that has, like a voice tag on there. As you hear, like sometimes on, beats or some different songs that you're selling, you would have like a little voice watermark, and you can upload that in the preview clip, the custom preview clip here. And that's the one that would play in the preview. But once they download it, they'll get the original without the voice track. So our track is done uploading. Now, even though we have the album for sale, with the individual tracks, you can set them to whatever you want. So let's choose yes. And on this one, we can either fix a price to say like $1 or whatever, or we can say, I want to give it away for free, or I want to give it away for free, but someone has to put in their email address. You can have them log in as a member. You can have them set a price where, they want to choose whatever. But in this case, we'll go ahead and just do fixed price. Again, if you have the ISRC code for SoundScan reporting, you can enter it there. And here's a great place to put track notes. If you have your lyrics ready, you can just go ahead and put them here as lyrics. And then ID3 tags, those are the tags that are going to associate your music, like the name, album year. You can just leave them as they are or automatically generate them. Now, also when you share your player, say on Facebook or Twitter, you can have it play the full track or the preview. I'm going to say preview. So then I'm going to click save. And now I was just going to make sure that this track is associated to the album. And that just takes a couple minutes. The other thing is you'll always want to put in your payment settings right away because it won't work very well if you don't have your payment settings. So we'll go ahead and click that now. Set your currency and your country. Now, micropayments, if you don't know about that, this is a separate account that you can get on PayPal. Sometimes it's integrated with your same account, or sometimes it's separate. You'll have to contact PayPal to see which one it is on your account. But you can enable this in PayPal so that any sale under $12 will be charged a lesser fee at PayPal, because PayPal does charge fees to use their service, and we use them for our processing. So if you have a lot of albums that are under $12 or singles for $1, you can set up micropayments. See if we can back to this and get this album artwork to show. If not, we'll just move on thing. Now, you can add as many music features on a page as you like. So if you have a lot of albums, you can just stack them up. You can even set up, an album, or then you can set up separate track lists. So if you're not if you have a lot of music that's not in albums and you just have a lot of singles, you can set it up that way. Or you can set up just a bunch of albums. This one's not really setting up the album artwork. I'm not sure why, but we'll go ahead and skip that for now. Content. you'll see on the music page that there's the album and there's one track in that album. Now we can go click on latest track, add your track. And then let's just say we're going to use the music player. This is a compact player. I want to add a track and I can easily add it. So now it's in my playlist. And so if I view my home page, now with our shows, we have some sample events listed here, but we can easily update that in the home page or events page, whichever one you'd like. You can click add your events. I'm going to add an event. This event's going to be on Saturday. Repeat. We can save this location for later if this is one that you go to a lot. You can put your event details. You can add an image flyer. Let me see if we can get that going. Maybe this will work here. Now this is where you can sell tickets to your events. You can either choose not to sell tickets. Okay, so this one worked here, so I'm not sure what's going on with the other one. I'll have to check that out later. You can sell tickets through another website. So if you want to sell like through Ticketmaster or something, you can add the link. Or if you are a pro plan, you can sell tickets directly on your website. Say you want to sell them for $25, you could put it on sale if you'd like, and then you'd add a receipt note. Now, if you sell tickets on your website, the person is going to get an email with the just to confirm the sale, and they'll have a way to print out their tickets. They can bring it to your actual event, and the person at the door can, collect those tickets. You're also going to get a ticket list, a guest list, so you can give that to the door person, and they can check it off as those people arrive. So you kind of know who showed up, who didn't show up, and stuff like that. You can also track inventory. So, say if the venue is smaller and it only allows for, say, 50 people, you can do that. And as say the 50th ticket is sold, it's going to stop the sale of any new tickets. And the event is confirmed, so I want to say yes, and I'm going to go ahead and save that. So now when you go to your page on your website, you're going to see that the show is listed. Now with some of our themes, we have the option to do a call to action header. A call to action header is this section right here. It allows you to add some text and then a button, and this button can lead pretty much anywhere. So let's go ahead and edit it. You could just click right on it. I want people to buy my album. So I want it to go to, so you can either have it go to an external page, like say if you want them to buy something on a different store that's not on your website, which I don't really recommend. You can set it to one of your own pages, which is what I'm going to do. You can set it to a file. So if you say, download our latest ebook on best practices for gigging, you can send it to an email address. You can set it to an album or a track. But for now, we're going to set it to music. And I want to say it now. So when we save it, you're going to see that all this is to the latest album is here. You don't want to miss it and get it now. So if I click on that, well, actually we're in edit mode. So let's go to the actual page. Sorry for my connection's been getting strange lately. I'll have to contact my internet provider. But so if I click get it now, it's taking me to my music page, and now I can, buy the album right here. Looks like our album artwork finally updated, so that's good. Now let's jump back over Also, one connection, but let's just say those. You just click on it. And then you can upload your photos. You can upload them from Dropbox or you can do it from your computer. So you can select up to 20 photos at a time, and you can just add them right on your site. So you don't have to upload those individually. You can, upload as many as 20 at a time, and then they'll pretty much go on the gallery pretty quickly. And you can have different gallery settings. You can do a tiled view, grid view, or slideshow. I like the tiled view, so I'm going to go ahead and save that, and then you'll see that it populates on the page as like a little tile view. Let's see. I think that's pretty much all I want to show you on here. One thing I do, say you are wanting to edit something on your homepage. In terms of the settings, you can, instead of clicking home, you can click edit page settings. And here's where you can change some different options. So if you want to unpublish any page, you can do that here under visibility. Now, if you click advanced settings, you can set it to, site members only, anyone with the password. And then here in terms of SEO, which is search engine optimization, we definitely recommend just keeping it automatically generated from your page content, because Google will crawl your site looking for this information just in general. If you do want to customize it, you can add your own custom page description and a page name that's, longer than home or whatever. So for example, you could put your band name -home or something. If you have an old website that you're coming from, you can do a 3-1 redirect here as well. So it'll redirect your old pages to your new pages. So we haven't changed anything, so I'll go ahead and cancel that. Now I want to jump over to edit theme. And this is kind of where you can play around, and it's a lot more fun. You can watch a video on that later. So we have if you just this or you just wanted to change it up, you could click edit theme, and then you can scroll through all of our themes and choose view it and see, oh, okay, let me see how this is going to look. And then it's going to load up in a second here. And it's going to show you that even though we changed the theme, it's the same content, images. I still have my shows, my track, everything's here the same. If I wanted to continue with the theme, I would click, or if I was like, well, I don't really like that one, I want to go back to the one that I already used, then I would just go back to the editor. But we have a lot of different themes, so you can always play around with it. Everything's going to stay the same in the content area. All you're doing is changing the framework. Another cool thing that we added is these image filters. So if you want to do like grayscale, make your site look totally different, you can do that. You can darken the image. There's just a lot of different options. Brighten it up, so I like that one. And then you can do different animations and background colors. So this is for the kind of call to action here. You can change the opacity so you can still see it come through. Now I want it to be a full. See there's this little separation here. I want that to go away. I want it to be full. So I could just click that. You can change the title background to have one or not. But since it's kind of interfering with this guy's head, I just title the way it is. Logo, you can upload your own, or you can choose not to have it at all. And you can just put it in the content if you want. I personally like it on here. Here's where you can change the colors. Now with the menu, you can change the different options, like the background color. You could change it to more of a gray, make it a little bit more opaque. You can change the menu font, hover color, a bunch of different options. Okay, now with the call to action, you can give it a border. You can make the border larger. You could change the border color, let's just say, to kind of match the orange in this picture right here. And you could still change that as well. There's just like a lot of different options that you can add. Now you can do an alignment. You can move it a little bit higher, and you can move it over so that that way more of this guy is in the picture. And now we're going to scroll down to see the content. This is where you can change content font. The one that we have going. Uh-oh. There we go. But let's just say we wanted to change it. Now this is going to change the font. You can make it semi-bold, bold, extra bold. And then you can change font size as well. You can change line height. You can make everything uppercase, which I like. Now, for now, I'm going to go ahead and save this, and then I'm going to show you how to do sections. And then we're going to, at that point, we're going to kind of be done, and so I'll take some questions at the end. So in order to do sections, the first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to click back to Edit Content. And let's just say that I wanted to have our mail in different color. So just to make it stand out a little bit more. What I would do, this is sections. It's going to give you a little bit of a, mention about how to use them. I'm going to leave this title blank because I don't want to add anything. If you I don't really the title, you can change the alignment of that title. So I'm going to section style 2 because section style 1 is the whole page. This is the whole section right here. Okay, select section style 2. Right now it's set to black. And then you can change the padding. So the padding is the space above and below the feature. I'm going to set it to large just to show you that once we click off, it become bigger. So I'm going to, and then edit theme because I don't want it to be, I want this section. So we'll go back to edit theme, scroll down, find section style 2, and then the background color, let me scroll up so you can see. Background color is black, but let's just say I really want to stand out. So I'm going to make it, let's see. This bright color here. I'm not saying this is pretty, but I'm just showing you the difference of how it would look if you add sections. And so now you'll see that this is a different section. Actually, that is too ugly. I can't even stand it. So I'm going to change it to the orange. Okay, so now and go back to edit content. Let's just say that I like how this looks. And then I wanted to have my orange. So I'm going to click edit section. Style 2 is now orange. And now I can save that. So now if you see, I have this in that same color. And I'm going to go ahead and look for visitors. So now I have my header. I have my link sign up form, and you can see it in the which doesn't look great on this, but you can see how you can add the padding and make it smaller or bigger. You scroll down, everything else is white because that's section style 1. And then this is also section style 2 with the orange. So you can see that you can add different sections. One last thing I want to go over is that you can always go back and update that anytime. So, oh, not paste. I can edit click edit columns, I want to have this in a 2-column. Actually, I want to have this in a sidebar with a right sidebar. Click that. I'm going to move this mailing the sign up form. I'm going to click move, and I'm going to move it right. And then I'm going to take my shows feature, and I'm going to move it here. Now, when you move it, it takes away. So you could go ahead and click add feature, add the title over here. Because see, you moved it to a new, so you can just add events quickly and easily. So now you see that this events feature section, and so it kind of makes it a little bit more obvious. And so you can play around with the different sections on any page that you'd like, and it'll, stay the same issues. Actually, I'm gonna click back over and see you guys' chats because I can't see the site, but does anybody questions about building this site, or if there's anything that you want me to do in this editor, because once I stop sharing the screen.
Allison, will you will you add an external page and then open it so we can see what it looks like?
Yeah, just like in the menu?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want that done in the header, the call to action, or just in the menu alone?
Just in the menu, like as an external page.
Yeah. All right, let me squeeze back over here. Yeah, this is really easy to do. So what you can do is click pages. Okay, so what we're going to do is we need to click more page types. And then you're going to see where it says external link. This is a link to an external site. Now we'll just say that we want to go to YouTube. We'll just call it videos. And that wants videos, they can click that. And we're going to publish that page, and we're going to click create my page. Now you're going to see that we have a new tab called videos. So let's just view our site like a regular visitor. Oh, actually we can't do that with an external page. Okay, well, as you can see, it obviously works. Clicking view my site, so that you can see how I just added it in the menu pretty easily by just clicking external link. And that way, anytime somebody goes to that page, they'll be able to just be directed right to that site. So you can choose any site. You know, whatever site that you want to lead somebody to, you can put that in the menu. Keep in mind the people on your site as long as possible. So we don't recommend adding external links in the menu unless it's like something that's super important that you need to direct somebody to a different page. But for the most part, we recommend just keeping people on your site as long as possible. Is there anything else that you guys wanted to see while I'm in this? One thing that is with our mailing list tab, this is where you can build a new email newsletter. You can manage your members. We don't have any members right now, but if we did, there'd be a list here. You can add them in groups, and you can start with some email templates that you've already created. So if we wanted to create a new email campaign, you would start with either blank page or a template, and then you would first design your template. We're not going to go through all this, but you can add, a header image to the top. You can, really customize it to the way that you want. But this is a great way to keep in touch with your fans, is by creating these newsletters and then sending them out frequently. The reports tab, this is where you would set up. So we have two different options. You can just use the built-in one that Bandzoogle has to offer, and it'll just so you can set it up with Google Analytics if you want advanced stats. And that's what you would do once you are a paid plan member. It's free to do, but you do have to have a paid plan and have your domain set up to do that. Once you're a paid member, you'll have access to our community tab to add anything you want. In the meantime, you can even read through our different community tabs. We have a pretty robust community of people in here, and that way you can collaborate and things like that. It would thing that has to do with your account, your payments. Right now it's going to show our plans because if you're on a free trial, but this is where you would, change passwords and things. Really have a robust, gives you a lot of different help articles. So, email or live chat with our help support staff anytime that you'd like, but we do have a lot of help articles. So we recommend starting there first. Things. So if you've done something, say if you are in sections and you forgot how to do sections, you can type in section and then click how do I style my sections. And it's going to give you a lot of different options. And a lot of our help articles have videos in there too. So you can even see how it's done as well. So let me go ahead and exit out of here and come back to the screen. Okay, so that's pretty much all the time that we have to build the site. Hopefully you guys are able to see how quickly and easily you can build out your pages. You can make a lot of changes. We've added a lot of new options. And again, if you get stuck, you can read so replay link after later this afternoon, so you'll be able to go back and watch the video in case you missed anything. Also, we're going to be doing more of these webinars monthly, so just stay tuned to your inbox, and that way you'll be able to come on to the webinars as we have them. We're also going to be doing different topics as well, so stay tuned for that. Doesn't look like we have any more questions, so I'm going to go ahead and end out for the day. But thank you again for joining us, and we will see you next time. Bye for now.
Bye.